Hi, my topic now is sexually transmitted infections. What are the sexually transmitted infections? These are the infections that are spread from person to person through the intimate sexual contact. They are dangerous because they can easily spread, and it is hard to just tell by looking at who's having STIs. So, 1 in 4 of sexually active teens usually have STIs. So, sexually active diseases are capable of being spread from person to person through sexual intercourse, oral genital contact, or in non sexual ways, or through IV drugs. So, 4 classes are bacterial, fungal, parasites, and due to viruses also. So, the common STIs are due to chlamydia, gonorrhea, genital herpes, herpes simplex virus 2, genital warts, hepatitis B, HIV and AIDS, pubic lice, syphilis, and trichomoniasis. So, the symptoms vary among different types. The common symptoms are unusual discharge from the penis or vagina, sores or warts on the genital area, burning while urinating, itching and redness in the genital area, anal itching, soreness, and bleeding. So, the people should contact if they have any of these symptoms for the management of STIs. Women are more vulnerable biologically, culturally, and socially economically. Most of the infections in women are asymptomatic. So, STDs of concern, actually all of them, and the source are the ulcers. The syphilis will be seen, source or ulcers will be seen in syphilis, herpes simplex 1 and 2, and in case of chancroid, granuloma inguinale, and lymphogranuloma venereum infections. So, STIs of concerns, there will be discharges will be seen in gonococcal chlamydia infections, non-gonococcal urethritis and mucopurulent cervicitis, trichomonas vaginitis urethritis, and candidiasis, vulvovaginal candidiasis. Usually, this causes less problems in men. Other major concerns are genital human papilloma virus, especially 16 and 18, and cervical cancers. So, the gonorrhea infections are caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae, which is most infected individuals and women who have no symptoms. Usually, they have painful or burning sensation while urinating, increased vaginal discharge, or bleeding in between the periods. So, this is a third common STDs, and it is caused by gram-negative diplococci. It infects the endocervix and causes mucopurulent cervicitis. Majority of the infections will be asymptomatic. It is an important cause of PID. Diagnosis can be established by endocervical culture, and in 50% of the patients, the infections are mostly due to gonococcal and chlamydia. Treatment is ceftriaxone 125 mg IM or cefixime 400 mg per orally can be given. And associated treatment for chlamydia also is important, and partner also has to be treated. And if a woman has infection with gonorrhea, there is chance of mucopurulent conjunctivitis in the newborn. So, the clinical manifestations in the male are incubation period usually 1 to 14 days, and symptoms of urethral discharge and dysuria. 5% of them can be asymptomatic. Diagnosis is by gram stain urethral smear positive in more than 98% of the cultures, and associated complications can develop. And in female, endocervical canal is a primary site of infection. 70 to 90% also colonize urethra. The incubation period is unclear, but it's usually 10 days. Majority of the infections are asymptomatic, but they can have dysuria, labial pain, swelling, pain, abdomen, urinary symptoms, and vaginal discharge. Diagnosis is by gram smear, which is positive, and 50 to 70% cultures also will be positive. This is a gonorrhea infection in a male. This is a gram staining, and then effects of gonococcal infections on pregnancy. The infection can spread from the mother to child during birth and can cause birth defects, fertility problems, skin problems, arthritis, blood poisoning, and there is septicemia and heart and brain infections. Non-gonococcal urethritis, it is caused due to 20 to 40% of the cases due to chlamydia trachomatis, 20 to 30% due to genital mycoplasma, which is due to Mycoplasma genitalium, ureaplasma urealyticum, and occasionally due to herpes simplex virus or trichomonas vaginalis infection, unknown in 50% of the cases. Mild dysuria and mucoid discharge will be seen, and diagnosis by urethral smear, which shows more than 5 polymorphonuclear neutrophils in more than oil immersion field. They show usually more than equal to 15 in number, and urine microscopy shows more than or equal to 10 polymorphonuclear neutrophils in high power field, and leukocyte esterase will be positive. So, treatment is several antibiotics can successfully treat gonorrhea infections. Because of the drug resistance, a successful treatment is a single shot of ceftriaxone 125 mg or single dose of cefixime 400 mg. Azithromycin 2 gram in a single dose can also be used in patients who have allergic reactions to penicillin, cefixime, or ceftriaxone. So bacterial vaginosis is the next one, and treatment. Earlier it was used only if the patient is symptomatic, but now treatment has, like all cases, has to be treated because it is associated with increased risk of premature birth, amniotic fluid infection in the females during pregnancy, and chorioamnionitis or postpartum endometritis, PID, post-surgical infection, cervical intraepithelial neoplasia, mucopurulent cervicitis, and acquisition of HIV infection. Next one is a syphilis, where the origin is long back and it is caused by bacteria, therefore it is curable, and the transmission is through the vaginal, oral, or the anal sex. It is a multi-stage disorder. Primary stage, there will be painless infectious chancre. Several days to few months after infections, and genitals, mouth, rectum, and other areas can be affected. Sometimes there will be no chancre. The ulcers heal, and sometimes the condition cannot be unnoticed after the ulcer heals. And the incubation period is average about 3 weeks, 10 to 90 days. In early cases, there will be macule, papule, which later erodes. And in later stages, there is clean-based, painless, indurated ulcer with smooth, firm borders, unnoticed in 15 to 30% of the patients, and resolves in 1 to 5 weeks, highly infectious. This is a primary syphilis chancre. The secondary stage, infectious rashes will be seen 3 to 6 weeks after infection. Hands, soles of feet, and other areas. Fever and flu-like symptoms will also be apparent, and the rashes typically will be healing after several weeks. And the condylomata lata is the wart-like lesions which is seen in the male and the female due to syphilis. And the clinical manifestation, sometimes there can be blood spread also. Usually after 2 to 8 weeks of infection, the chancre appears, and the findings will be rashes all over the body, including the palms and soles, mucosal patches, condylomata lata, which is a highly infectious condition, and the constitutional symptoms like fever, flu-like symptoms will be present. The condition resolves in about 2 to 10 weeks. This is secondary syphilis with generalized rashes. So in latent stage, the infection hides in the body, often central nervous system. Infectious person can remain in the stage for years. There may be no symptoms for a long time, and the diseases becomes generalized spread to involve all the organs of the body. And the latent period can be further divided into early, late, or unknown stages based on when the infection has occurred. And in late tertiary stage, there will be severe symptoms like heart disease, dementia, paralysis, numbness, and blindness. This is the oral features. And the treatment of syphilis will be penicillin with other antibiotics. Communicate with all sexual partners regarding syphilis. The partner also has to be treated, and until the treatment is done, there should not be any sexual activity. Condoms also help in prevent the transmission between the partners. Next one is a chancroid, which is mostly seen in men than women, and it is spread by oral, vaginal, or unprotected sexual activity. Symptoms are sores or raised bumps on the genitals, which eventually, if not treated, becomes filled with pus and eventually ruptures, leaving a painful ulcer or sore. The bacteria may also infect the lymph glands in the loin. These glands can become hard, swollen, and painful. In women, there will be genitals and ulcers, painful urination, and painful sexual activity. So these are contagious as long there is presence of open sores. The open sores will contain bacteria, and any contact with them can result in spread of infection. The ulcers usually heals for 2 to 3 weeks, and they have to be treated with antibiotics. These are the chancroid ulcers. Bacterial infection, chlamydia infection is a bacterial infection which also is spread by sexual activity. The incubation period is about 7 to 21 days, and in men it can cause a thick discharge from the penis, burning during micturition. In females, urination, echinacea, burning, or bleeding from the vagina. So the chlamydia trachomatis, more than 3 million cases can be occurring annually. It is a generalized infection occurring all over the world, and it can cause cervicitis, urethritis, proctitis, lymphogranuloma, venereum, and the PID. So direct and the socioeconomic burden can be very high in developing countries, and the infection, if a female, can spread to the newborn during delivery, which can result in conjunctivitis and pneumonia on the newborn. It is the most common STI, and infected persons, even with no symptoms, can pass the disease to others, which can cause serious complication. Symptoms in a male. symptoms in a male may include a slight discharge from the penis and a tingling sensation or pain with urination, and a female may experience irregular bleeding, pain during intercourse, vaginal discharge, belly pain or pain with urination. Untreated chlamydial infection can cause fertility problems. This disease can be passed during birth to the babies, and the chlamydia is often treated with antibiotic infection, and the use of condoms also help in preventing the transmission of infection to the partners. So symptoms are fever, weight loss for no reason, swollen glands, fatigue, diarrhea, white spots on the mouth. In females, the symptoms can be white discharge with burning maturation, abdominal pain, bleeding in between the periods, low-grade fever, which often develops late. And in males, the symptoms will be discharge from the penis, burning sensation during maturation, and burning and itching around the opening of the penis, pain and swelling in the testes, and low-grade fever due to inflammation of the testes. So the complications in newborn can be conjunctivitis. So it is treated with topical antibiotic drops. It can cause Reiter's disease, and PID features like infection and the spread of disease to the female genital organs like uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries. If untreated, PID due to chlamydia, it can result in pelvic pain, scarring, tubal pregnancy, infertility. Treatment is with antibiotics, and if not treated, is associated with increased risk of infertility in the women of childbearing age group. It causes epididymis, so the inflammation of epididymis, and in males it can result in tubal block and sperm abnormalities, and the organisms also can travel to the urethra, and the symptoms of fever, pain, and discharge and swelling can occur. In male also, the condition has to be treated with antibiotics. Chronic epididymitis in males usually does not hamper fertility. LGV, this differs from chlamydia, and it usually causes a painless pimple or lesions on the genitals. Infection spreads to lymph glands. And next one is a herpes simplex virus 2, which is related to the virus that belongs to the family of virus of shingles and chickenpox. Transmission is by vaginal, oral, and anal sex. Transmission of virus can also occur through fingers, can be either contact with the sore or then touching the membranes. So even when the sores are not present, the transmission of virus is possible. Transmission to the fetus is possible. If a pregnant woman contracts herpes towards the end of pregnancy, there is more risk of transmission to the fetus. If there is active herpes infection, cesarean section has to be performed. Transmission can also occur outside body contact, but no evidence has to be proven significantly. So it is a sexually transmitted disease caused by herpes simplex 1 in 10%, and most of the times 90% is herpes simplex virus 2. It can both of them can affect the oral facial skin, and the virus can have a prolonged lifelong infection in the affected area. Usually the primary infection causes multiple vesicles which ulcerate, forming shallow superficial ulcers with the external genitalia. There is often simultaneous involvement of the vagina and cervix. Most common symptom is the blisters. The primary outbreak occurs within few weeks of contact, may continue for a couple of weeks longer for those with who have immunocompromised state, and there will be itchy, painful, and tingling or burning sensation. So it causes in herpes genitalis there will be severe pain, itching, vaginal discharge, and painful urination, and sometimes urinary retention which may require catheterization. Associated with the fever, headache, and generalized malaise. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks to heal. Secondary or recurrent herpes is where the virus which is already present in the nervous cells will be reactivated by various causes like generalized illness, mental or emotional stress, or menses, or due to trauma. It is less painful circumstance and is not associated with generalized symptoms, and usually lasts for average of about 7 days. These are the oral and the genital herpes. The herpes simplex 1 and 2, it more commonly affect the adolescents and adult population. This is the primary herpes of vulva. Thank you.